In this video, we're going to look at the Breakup feature on the Headrush Pedalboard. Hey guys, this is Dr. McFarland and welcome back to the channel. I'm bringing you today another Headrush video, and this is about the Breakup feature that you can find on all the cabs. And basically what it's emulating is as you turn up an amplifier, the speaker cone is going to start vibrating, and at a certain point it's going to have its own breakup qualities, very much like your preamp tubes or your power amp tubes. So that's what we're going to look at today, and I have a fairly clean amp set up right now, but we can dial in different levels of dirt on the amp and then combine that with the breakup parameter on the cabs to see how these two interact with each other to get the final tone. So what I have here is the 59 Deluxe gain mod. The gain is down pretty low and the master is at 50. And we're going to turn up the master a little bit later, but for now let's keep it clean. And the cab is a 2x12 AC blue with a 57 on the grill, and I have it off axis. So the breakup parameter is right here, and it's honestly something I hadn't used a whole lot in the past, but let's just experiment with it and see if I can figure out ways to use it more. So here's my clean tone using a Reverend Sensei RA, and I'm just going straight to my mixing board into Reaper. And here's the middle position. Alright, so back to bridge, and you can hear that we have pretty clean setting on the amp. It can start breaking up if I start driving it a little bit more. So a characteristic of a tube being overdriven or a speaker being pushed is essentially it is going to start breaking up more, and with that comes more compression. So as we turn up the breakup parameter, we should start hearing the tone get a little bit squished, and that is by design. So this is at 0. Alright, so what I heard right there was basically with it wide open, you have a uncompressed sound, and as you start turning up the breakup, you have more and more compression with a little bit more grit added to the overall tone. Alright, so let's go through that again. Let's go to 50% or so. So there's a few things we can do since the level is going down a little bit. So let's check our output first. And we can stand to go up a little bit here. So we're going to control the overall output of the rig directly from the cab simulation here. So we have an out gain and an amp gain. Let's just go an out gain. Turn that up a little bit. Alright, let's check our output one more time. And it's still pretty low, so let's keep turning it up there. like to keep my green bars around 3 bars below 0. And what that does, just for gain staging purposes, is if I know that I keep my master between 7 to 8 on the dial, then 3 bars below 0 should send a nice healthy signal to either my DAW or the mixing board up on stage in a venue. And so that way the gain structure should be about similar to what they already have it set at, and they don't need to do a lot of tweaking on the gain knob to get it sounding good going through the house. Alright, so now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and turn up the master volume on the amp. And we can bring down the output gain on the cab now, because it's probably going to be a little bit louder. Alright, so in combination with the breakup parameter, now we're getting some power tube overdrive just by cranking up the master volume of the amp. And that's a natural occurrence that you would have on a regular amplifier anyways. So it's good that we can emulate that experience here on the pedal board. Alright, let's turn the breakup back down. Yeah, I definitely feel the sound just kind of squishing down a little bit as the breakup gets turned up. Let's just see what that area does. So you can almost think of it like you're replacing an actual compressor, because you're getting natural compression from 1, the power tube stage, 2, the breakup parameter on the cab itself, and you're just getting a lot more naturally compressed sound. So let's see what happens now if we start cranking up the preamp. Alright, so that was on 0. Here's 100%. And let's back it off a little bit. Sorry, I just can't stop playing. Let's go back to 100. All right, that's fine. I think it sounds really cool. Let's see what happens if we put a compressor after all that. And let's do that one. Alright, so the compression is definitely adding some squish to the overall sound, but not necessarily adding more breakup sound, more overdrive. So let's go back to our cab, turn the breakup all the way up. Alright, so just then we had some preamp overdrive, some power amp overdrive, some speaker cone breakup, and also some compression to keep it all nice and tight. So let's just go back and let's crank up the amp. So we got the preamp gain cranked, the master volume cranked. Let's turn down the bass just a little bit, because the more gain you have, the less bass that you need. It's just a thing I've come to realize over the years. So let's hear what this sounds like with the breakup at 0. So that was a pretty fun experiment, messing with different levels of dirt on the amp and also on the cab. And what do you think? Leave me a comment down below and see if this is a feature that you would actually want to incorporate into your rig. And I think it sounds pretty cool. It's a different sound. It's a different way of adding compression to the overall tonality of the rig. And it's just one more option that we have to create some cool tonal possibilities. So if you haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe down below and click the bell icon so you'll be notified every time I release content just like this. And I do have a lot of links in the description, so if you want to have a way to support the channel, so if you want some ways to support the channel, 1, be sure to subscribe, and then 2, I do have Amazon affiliate links in the description, so if you see an item that you can't live without, then feel free to purchase it through my link so I get a little bit of kickback from that. And I do have a full membership area on my website to where you can learn about music, gear, and recording for a relatively low cost. So that's just a few ways you can help support me and my work here on YouTube. And thanks guys for watching. I'm Dr. McFarland. I will see you in the next video. Keep rocking.